Welcome. My name is Lulu, and I'm a graduate student in the College of Education, and I'm also a middle school teacher. I've been practicing and sharing mindfulness for the last 10 years in a number of different forms. Traditional practices like yoga and Reiki, as well as new practices like proprioceptive writing, help me feel connected to myself and to the world around me. And it helps me maintain a sense of peace even in the chaotic times that we're living in right now. Something special about mindfulness is that it's a chance for each of us to connect to our true selves, to the observers in our hearts, and the witnesses to our whole experiences. For this reason, it's really important that you listen to yourself first. So if a posture or a breathing exercise doesn't feel right for you, do something that does feel right for you. We're going to start by practicing turning our attention in. So you can find a comfortable seat on the floor or in a chair, sitting up nice and tall. If you have tightness in your lower back when you're sitting, you can kind of pull your sits bones apart by tugging on like the underside of your bottom on both sides and just giving yourself a wider base. And then I invite you to bring your hands over your heart, or maybe you prefer over your belly, or maybe one of each. And here you can close your eyes, or you're welcome to keep them open. If you're going to keep your eyes open, find a focal point, one spot that's not moving, and settle your gaze there. Start to notice your breath. Notice the little ways your breath moves your body. If it's available to you, breathe in and out through your nose. As you're inhaling, feel inner space, inner expansiveness. And as you're exhaling, maybe you feel like a little letting go. Maybe you're blowing away whatever is on your mind here. Taking a few more deep breaths, letting your belly expand as you inhale, and your belly fall as you exhale. Notice how you're feeling today, right now. Notice what color you're feeling. And then the next time you're breathing in, breathe in like you could shine a light on whatever that feeling is. And then you're going to breathe out and let it go. You can blow out through your mouth or exhale out through your nose, whatever feels right for you. Now we're going to move the spine in 7 directions. Your spine is strong to support you in standing and sitting up. And at the same time, your spine is flexible. So these 7 directions are the ways your spine likes to move, and it's a great way to warm yourself up before doing a yoga practice, just to make sure that you are supporting a safe practice for yourself. So we're going to start with reaching straight up and twisting side to side. So inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, turn, look over one shoulder to twist. Inhale, come back to center, make sure you reach up, and then exhale, twist over to the other side. Inhaling to center, growing long, exhaling to twist. You can use your belly and your core to deepen the twist, especially at the bottom of your exhale. You can squeeze your core muscles a little more, twist a little deeper, and then inhale to soften your belly and unravel to center. The next time you're inhaling, you can come back to center. And if you're sitting in a chair, you'll scooch to the edge of your chair. We're going to move through some cat and cow stretches, arching the back and rounding it forward. So I like to place my hands on my knees when I'm sitting on the ground or in a chair. Inhaling, lift your heart forward and up, lift your gaze up and back, and then exhale and round. Drop your chin down. Inhaling to look up and arch back. Exhaling to round and look down. And the next time you're inhaling, make your way to a neutral spine, so you're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to move into the side to side stretch, which is really great for opening up the muscles between your ribs. These intercostal muscles get tight when we're stressed out, which makes it hard to take deep breaths. And breathing deeply is something that can help calm us down under stress. So the side stretch is really great if you have excessive stress or anxiety in your life. Before we go side to side, we're going to spend just a little bit of time on our neck. Your spine goes all the way up to the center of your brain. But the vertebrae in your neck are very small and delicate. So to protect them, we're going to do some half neck rolls, and then we're going to keep our chin tucked towards our shoulder when we move into the side stretch. So it's going to be kind of a combo. Bring your chin over to one shoulder and drop your head down. Starting with just the neck, inhale, roll up and back. Exhale, drop your chin down. Make sure you're staying on the same side. We'll take one more half neck roll. And then whatever shoulder your chin is close to, you're going to inhale, reach that arm up, but keep your chin and shoulder close together. And then as you exhale, you'll lean over to the opposite side. Try to keep both sides of your bottom pressing evenly into your chair or the floor. And if you are feeling really comfortable here, you can also turn your eyes to look up at your thumb. But if you do have a sensitive neck, keep your chin close to your shoulder, or you can look straight ahead or down at the ground. Just taking deep inhales here. The deeper your breath in, the more you'll stretch out those muscles between your ribs. Exhaling to let go and try and relax a little bit. Take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, drop that hand back down over to the other side, all the way to the ground or into your lap. And then we're going to do the neck rolls on the other side and move into the opposite side stretch. So chin close to the shoulder, inhale, rolling back and up. Exhale to roll back down, chin close to the shoulder. The next time you're inhaling, take that arm up into the air, and then exhale, lean over to the opposite side. Keep your chin close to your shoulder here. Keep the weight even through both sides of your bottom. And then you can either turn your gaze to look up at your thumb, keep your chin close to your shoulder, or look straight ahead or down at the ground. Inhaling, finding space between your ribs. Exhaling, relaxing and letting go. One more deep breath here. And exhale, drop your hand down towards the ground or your lap. Nice job. We just did the 7 directions of the spine plus a little extra attention for our necks. So first we did straight up, and then we did twisting and twisting. 4 was arching back, 5 was rounding forward, 6 was one side, 7 was the other side. So keep those in mind as a quick movement break you can take for yourself between your Zoom calls or your classes, because it's really important we keep our spines healthy. There's 3 standing poses that I'd like to share with you as part of our practice today. I really like them because you don't need a lot of space to practice them. And the first one, mountain pose, is a pose you can kind of practice anywhere and no one would even know that you're practicing a yoga pose or you're connecting with yourself and the world around you through this mindfulness posture. To do the mountain pose, you stand however you feel most stable. So your feet could be about hips distance apart. Some people also stand with their big toes together and just like a little space between your heels. Whatever option you're taking, do your best to keep your feet parallel, especially if you have your feet hips distance apart. Then you let your knees have a gentle bend. Kind of like I was talking about with the spine being both strong and flexible, you want to find a balance in your own body here as you stand. So if you're super strong in this pose, just relax a little bit and you'll find that gentle bend in your knees. Your spine is kind of like a string from the top of your head pulling up towards the ceiling, so your feet are pressing down evenly at the same time that your head is lifting up towards the sky or the ceiling. Feel strong and steady like a mountain here. If it's comfortable, close your eyes or find a focal point and listen to the sound of your breath. Feel your mountain growing taller and taller, little bit by little bit over time. From mountain pose, I'd like to show you a chair pose. And if you have any knee injuries or anything like that, then you can have a chair right behind you so that you can drop some of your weight into the chair as we move into this pose. This pose is also known as the standing squat or the thunderbolt pose. And because I have a knee injury, I bring my big toes to touch and let my knees come together for a little extra support. If you are strong in the knees, you can keep your feet hips distance apart and your thighs parallel. So you're gonna sit back and down, and for me, I'm gonna pretend to sit in this chair, but not sit in the chair yet. You can start with your hands on your hips, and when you feel ready, you can bring your arms up by your ears. Make sure when you look down that you can see all of your toes. If your knees are too far forward, you could hurt yourself. And if you're doing this in the chair, it is very important that you're still actively pressing your feet into the ground here. You might feel that one foot is pressing a little bit more than the other, and the goal in this pose and in mountain pose is to keep that weight even. This pose looks like a thunderbolt from the side, and also from the side you can see I gotta keep my knees back so that I can still see all of my toes. It would be unsafe if you saw someone squatting like this. We're gonna hold our standing squat for about 3 breaths. And just notice where you feel heat building in your body. Maybe you can feel your thigh muscles or your glute muscles engaging. This pose is really good for us right now because I know I've been spending a lot of time just sitting at my desk. And it's really important to keep those muscles active and keep the blood flowing. One more breath here. And then exhaling, make your way back to a mountain pose. If you want to shake it out, you can just kind of toss your arms a little side to side or shake out your legs. The last pose that I want to share with you is called legs up the wall, except we're going to be doing it using a chair for support. This is an inversion and it's fully supported, so it's a safe way to reverse the flow of blood in your body to help improve circulation, your immune system. And if you get chronic headaches or varicose veins, it can also help with that. So the first thing is to find the right chair. I find that my couch is a good height, and you'll know that your chair or your couch or your bed or whatever is the right height if the bottom of the seat is right in line with your knee. So this chair is a little low, and that's why I added another pillow on top. So now the top of the pillow is right in line with my knee. To get into the pose, you're going to lie yourself back at the same time that you kick your feet up to rest on top of the chair. Once you have your legs up, you can lie yourself down. And I like to rest my hands on my belly so that I can make sure that I'm taking slow, deep belly breaths. Inhaling, you'll feel your hands rising up. Exhale, you'll feel your hands falling. Let your back muscles and your spine relax into the ground. Make sure that your hairstyle isn't affecting the alignment of your neck. And if you need to add a pillow underneath your head, that can really help. You can stay in a pose like this for up to 15 minutes. Just make sure every time your mind wanders away, you come back to those slow, steady belly breaths. If you're super comfortable here, I invite you to stay in our restorative legs up the chair pose. And whenever you're ready to come out, you're going to just kind of kick your feet up and roll over to one side in a fetal position. I like to support my head with my arm. Sometimes I hug my knees in nice and close, which is really great if you have a sensitive lower back. Just take a moment here, wiggle your toes, and just notice how you're feeling now. And whenever you're ready, you can make your way up to sit. You can sit on the floor, crisscross, you can sit in a chair, however is most comfortable for you. And remember about that trick of pulling your sits bones away from each other to give your lower back a little bit more space. To finish up our practice, we'll bring our hands over the center of our chest. And you can layer your hands, or maybe you want to press your palms together in a gesture of balance. Do what feels right for you to make physical contact to your heart. Notice if you can feel your heart beating. Maybe you can hear your unique inner rhythm. Maybe you can even move your mind out of your brain and into your heart. Notice what your heart is thinking or saying to you. Be receptive to any messages your heart might have for you. Whatever you notice in your heart, breathe into it, highlight it with your breath. Then as you exhale, you can let it go. Something really special about yoga in particular is that it's a transformative practice. It takes you places you've never been before. And for me, it really helps remind me that each moment is brand new. And that means that each moment I'm brand new too. So the last thing we'll do to seal and close up this mindfulness moment is listening to the sound of my singing bowl. So you're going to listen for the beginning, the middle, and the end sound of the bell. Notice if you can feel the bell ringing in your body. Maybe you can feel the sound of this bell as a certain color or a bunch of different colors. Just paying attention to the experience that you have while we all are listening to this bell. Thank you so much for joining me for this UMass Meditates Mindfulness Moment. I encourage you to keep practicing and exploring what different kinds of mindfulness feel right for you. If you want any more information from me, please send me an email. Thank you and see you next time.